Good evening and welcome to the e-safety session of the Welcome to Year 7 evening. My name is Morgan Alexander Crump and I'm one of the assistant head teachers here at the Competence School. And this small video is going to guide you through how you as parents and students can remain safe whilst using the internet. This short video will focus on what we do as a school to keep our students safe online, where students and parents can go to for help, issues surrounding online gaming, chat and video sites, social media use, online dating sites, online grooming, sexting, and cyberbullying. We provide our students with lots of information about how to remain safe online. This is through assemblies, through pastoral curriculum sessions, your own PDT, lesson content. We have a dedicated pastoral team. We provide students with an ITT session when joining the school. There's an ICT code of conduct that students sign when enrolling, and we ensure that students do not bring mobile phones into school. One of the main places that parents can go to for advice on e-safety is on our school website. On the homepage, if you click on the Parents tab, you'll be able to access more information. By clicking this link, it will take to a page where you'll be able to select the Keeping Your Child Safe option on the left-hand side of the screen. On this page, there is a wealth of information regarding e-safety, and there's a direct link here to the CEOP website. CEOP are one of the main organisations that work to protect students and children when they're online. It is a command of the National Crime Agency. You may have noticed the CEOP logo as seen at the bottom of the screen there on lots of the apps or programs that your son and daughters use. It is there so that students, if at any point they feel unsafe online, they can report any form of online abuse to CEOP. It's important that students are aware when to report abuse to CEOP. They should do this if someone online is asking them to do something that makes them feel uncomfortable, if someone online is insistent on meeting up with them, if there is inappropriate chat or messages being received by your sons or daughters online, or someone has aggressively or threatened you online or another child that you know. When visiting the CEOP website, look for the Think You Know campaign. It provides a wealth of information for students and parents. The page you can see now is the section for 11 to 13-year-olds to gain more information about online safety. There's also a page on the Think You Know website for parents to gain lots of information about e-safety. There are several videos and infographics available for parents to watch to give them more information about keeping their sons or daughters safe online. I advise that you take a look at this website for further information. There are several easy steps that students can take to protect themselves and their privacy online. When they're using social media sites, they should limit the posts that can be seen by the public, not make them accessible to the public, only to their friends. If they are using Twitter, they should protect their tweets so only approved users can see them and not the public. Whilst at this age they are too young to be using Instagram, when they are older and if they choose to use Instagram, they need to make sure that their posts are private. This feature can be turned on. And if they're putting any videos up on YouTube, they should make these videos private by adjusting the broadcast and sharing options. I'd now like to talk to you about online gaming. There are lots of free games that students can play online. You can see some of the key ones or the most popular ones that students play on the screen now. A lot of these games have chat functions built into them, especially if students are playing Fortnite, which I'm sure you're probably all aware of by now, and the new game that students like to play, Apex Legends. You can see from the information at the top of the screen, 91% of children aged 2 to 17 play video games, with the majority of these people playing them online. One of the key issues though is that parents don't necessarily see these devices as computers, and children don't see games as an issue. For example, they share lots of personal information when they're able to chat to other people who they do not know online. This then therefore leaves them vulnerable. Another key thing to be aware of is the use of chat and video sites, specifically through mobile telephones. On the screen now, you can see a number of chat apps that are available to download to mobile telephones. Please be mindful that whilst a lot of these apps do have age restrictions in terms of using them, it is quite easy for students to circumvent this. Please also be aware that a lot of these apps enable students to chat to people anonymously online. So there's no guarantee that the person they think they're speaking to is the person that they're speaking to. Similarly, there's a number of apps that allow students to video call or video chat with other people online, sometimes completely anonymously. The next thing I'd like to talk to you about is social networking. On screen now are some of the more well-known social networks that students can have access to. All of these sites have an age limit of 13. So whilst at the moment they may not be able to use them, in the next year or so, students may be looking to sign up to these sites. Now, whilst it may be fun for the students to share information with their friends and talk about what they've been getting up to, please be aware that a lot of the information students can post online can be publicly seen. So it's all about protecting your identity when using social media networks. On screen now are some social networks that involve pictures. The key thing to remember when it comes to these types of social networks is that once a picture is posted online, it's very, very difficult to have it removed without it being resent or reposted. So if your sons and daughters are choosing to use social networks over the next year or so, please have a chat with them about being safe when posting certain pictures online. There are, however, more apps that are slightly more concerning, and these are anonymous social media sites. These protect the identity of the users. So if students are using these apps, they will have no idea of who they are speaking to, which can leave them vulnerable. The next thing I'd like to talk about are online dating apps. Now, whilst I'm not condoning the use of online dating apps, it's important that you're aware of some of the more common ones that young people use. Again, it's important to point out that people online can be misleading about who they are, and there's no guarantee that someone uses apps is speaking to the person they think they're speaking to. It's also concerning to point out the age ranges of some of these apps. My Laugh Out Loud is designed for teenagers aged 13 to 20, but sometimes people who are 25 years old are using it. So please be aware of what these apps are capable of allowing students to do. Another thing to be mindful of are secret folder apps. These look like harmless applications, but actually allow people who use them to hide information. This could be phone numbers, pictures, and videos. Some of the more commonly used ones are on screen now. One of the more serious things that students need to protect themselves against online is online grooming. If your children are using the internet, please be aware of the 5 stages of online grooming. There's a friendship, forming a relationship, assessing the risk of speaking to someone online, promoting exclusivity, and then sex talk. Another serious issue to be aware of is sexting. It is illegal for a person under the age of 18 to send explicit images or films of themselves or of another young person. By sending an explicit image, a young person is producing and distributing child sexual abuse images and risks being prosecuted even if the picture is taken and shared with their permission. Police have only recently started filing crime reports about sexting, but if a school chooses to take an incident to the police, then officers must record the crime. Finally, I'd like to talk to you about cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is when someone bullies others over the internet or on a mobile phone by sending abusive emails or texts directly, or by posting nasty comments or humiliating images for others to see. Like any form of bullying, cyberbullying can be horrible for the children involved and hard for them to talk about. If you think your child or another child that you know is being bullied online, this is what you should do. Stay calm, listen to them without judging, tell them that you can help, praise them for talking to you, keep the evidence or any evidence you have, block the bullies on any sites that have been used, and ask the person who has been bullied not to reply. Please then report this information to the school. It's also important to be aware of some of the language that children use online. You can see some of the key acronyms and terms used on chat and messenger sites on screen now. Finally, how can you support your son or daughter in being safe online? Visit the Think You Know website with your child. Open an honest dialogue with them. Show an interest and learn about what your child does online. Stay in control of phone charges and Wi-Fi. Advertise yourself as one of the people your child can turn to without being chastised. And education is better than saying to your child, "You are not doing this anymore." Thank you for listening.